We hear about foot traffic, like what's being done to help drive foot traffic. What's going on with your brand to help do that for our retail members?
We have refocused our distribution model, and we do know that we've partnered with a lot of our key retailers to provide them with support that really helps that retailer keep their margins tight, which helps them with gaining more foot traffic because they're able to offer the pricing and the margins that they need to be successful as well.
Welcome into the Independent Thinking Podcast. This is your host, Rob Stott. It was a really incredible show, I think, that might even be an understatement for the folks at Legacy Classic Modern with us at PrimeTime in Las Vegas in August. And if you were at the show, you know why. And for those that weren't, let me let you in on a little bit of the behind the scenes of what went on with the Legacy team. They had quite the appearance, celebrity appearance at the show, and an opportunity for our members. If you're familiar with Legacy, you know that they recently launched a line called the X's and O's line, which if that name itself rings a bell, and you're a country music fan, you'd know that there's a singer out there, Miss Trisha Yearwood, that has a song by a similar name and now a furniture line to match. And Trisha was with us at PrimeTime in Las Vegas this past August, and it was an incredible opportunity. She sat down with our own Lauren Safoni and Mr. Jeff Rose of the furniture and bedding team to dive into the line, dive into her past, her background, and the opportunity that retailers have with her face and brand behind this line of furniture with Legacy, and so much more. I mean, that was just one sort of appearance. She had that sit down. She did some VIP meet and greet. She was in the booth, spending a lot of time with our members and showing that, she is there to support this line and the Legacy team and what they're doing. And it was incredible. And we wanted to, build on top of that as well. So invited Miss Tahira Dock Johnson over to the podcast area to record an episode with us and share her take on, what is going on with this line, what's going on with the rest of the Legacy team and their product portfolio, and how they're helping members drive traffic to their stores, because there's a lot going on. I mean, that line itself is pretty, incredible and doing some great things for those that have already added it to their lineup, but Legacy's doing a whole lot more, as Ms. Johnson shares with us. And, was excited to have that opportunity to sit down with her and pick her brain a little bit about this furniture space and where she sees it going. So let's dive into it. This is Tahira Dock Johnson of Legacy here on the Independent Thinking Podcast. All right, we are back on the Independent Thinking Podcast, coming to you from nationwide PrimeTime here in Las Vegas. Excited to be sitting down right now with the Director of Sales Operations for Legacy, Tahira Dock Johnson. Appreciate you coming over.
Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Having a good PrimeTime so far?
So far, so good. Really appreciate all the efforts that the nationwide team puts into these types of productions on behalf of the retail and the wholesale operations, giving us an opportunity and a platform to collaborate, explore new opportunities with some of your members, and your members that have an opportunity to explore future opportunities for themselves from a retail perspective. It's
a fun time. We get to get together and a couple times a year and see this show floor kind of buzz the way it has been, and the business. That's what's always fun to see get done.
The transformation.
Yes. It's incredible. So what we've got a lot to dive into. A very exciting program for you guys that's actually going down this afternoon that we'll talk about. But what's new and exciting at this show that you are showcasing to our members?
Outside of what we're going to drop the bomb on later on, we are showcasing this show. We're in making sure that the members have the ability to touch and see some of our whole home options. We're not just dining room. We're not just main bedroom. We have secondary bedroom. We have youth that can grow with the kids and can be the youth first furniture in their homes or transform to be that guest room within the home. We have the occasional. And we just launched a new motion program where we have custom wood finishes on leather, custom wood finishes on upholstery, a new curated view on motion, not the old school, look. It's a new look. It will resonate with this newer generation, or resonate with the women who husband wants this recliner, but she doesn't want it. So
gotcha.
It's a great compromise.
And what's the feedback been as members come over?
Well, it's been well received. A lot of the members have come by and, are re-energized by the refreshing look. It has its own look. It's different from what's out there in the market right now. And so far so good. The reception has been great and very positive.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. So out in the market, what are you guys seeing? How are things going right now? I know, this whole, if there's anything the message to members has been, we understand, we know what the market's like, but how, from the legacy perspective, how are things right now?
You said it right. The market is tough right now. However, legacy is starting to see a great uptick. Some of the things that were put in place by our new leadership, starting with April of last year, refocusing on quality and service, re-energizing the market with fresher looks. All of that has happened with the transformation between April of last year into October of last year, and then our new launches this past April market. So we've had very positive reaction, very positive response, and our current customer base and the opportunity that's out there in the market is very promising for legacy.
What are some of the things you guys are doing to, it's all about, we hear about foot traffic, like what's being done to help drive foot traffic. What's going on with your brand to help do that for our retail members?
Well, we have refocused our distribution model, and we do know that, the logistics nightmares that are happening, globally. We've partnered with a lot of our key retailers to provide them with support. Moving some of that freight on our contracts on their behalves. That really helps that retailer, keep their margins tight, which helps them with, gaining more foot traffic because they're able to offer the pricing and the margins that they need to be successful as well. So
I flip it around too, because retailers are obviously always demanding of us and their brands, right? What can they be doing to be more successful today?
Just being more transparent. The retailers, as long as they're more transparent both to their end consumers and transparent with their wholesale partners, it makes that relationship work a lot better. We urge a lot of our retailers, I know times are tough now, but we need you to forecast and project because you want to end the year strong. And you need to give us insight into what those strategies will be so that we can be here to support you. We can't be reactive because no one wants to be holding a bag, but we have to kind of responsibly work together.
Well, now we got all that out of the way. Now we can have the fun talk, right? This is the stuff that's going on. Your booth is going to be popping this afternoon.
A little
country popping this afternoon. It's good. So talk about this, the Trisha Yearwood collection and everything that you guys. It's an incredible launch. How long has it been in the market now?
So Trisha has had furniture in the market for 10 years. And she started her partnership with a former wholesaler who's no longer in business, and then when the opportunity presented itself, Legacy put their name in the hat. And she had a lot of other wholesalers to look at, and I think what closed the deal for Legacy is when she finally did the one-on-one and face-to-face interviews with the final candidates and walked into our show space. That was it for her, I believe.
That's awesome.
She was really blown away with our presentation with just the Legacy assortment. And so it was, it became obvious that we could collaborate comfortably
Right,
together.
right.
And so we brought over the collections that were in-house that were already doing really well. And in April, we launched her 10th collection, which is X's and O's.
Yep.
And so it has been well received so far.
Yeah.
We've sold through the first couple of cuttings already. We cut it 2 weeks after market,
Wow.
and we've sold through them. So we're working on, cutting 4 and 5 at this point. And so this show is yet another opportunity to gain exposure to a different crowd because, her previous partnership, they had limited the retailers that were able to sell this product.
Right,
and
right.
we've opened it up now.
Right.
And these types of groups allow those smaller members the opportunity, because not all of these members have the opportunity to come to the High Point Market.
Yeah.
And so, them being able to see that furniture in the booth, we've written so many orders this show solely from the fact that we had the product here, and they're like, oh, yes, this is what we want.
That's
so,
awesome. I want to dive into that a little bit more, but I want to ask before I forget, the opportunity to work with her, what's that been like for you and your team?
It's, there are certain type of socialite that we all know it's very complicated to work with. By far, this has been the easiest working relationship. They are so down to earth. The entire team, she is, she meets our team for the first time and she walks away and she can call everybody by name. And,
incredible.
She is such a personable person. You can only imagine how many names are thrown at her on a regular basis. I coach and play sports, and half the time I can't even remember the teammates that I play with 2 or 3 years.
I completely understand.
And, just after an hour encounter, she's calling everybody by name. She kind of remembers what their roles are. And she is just a very laid back and just a breath of fresh air to work with and collaborate with.
As far as that collaboration, what level of involvement does she have?
She loves to have a voice and, understanding the vision. She allows Legacy to take the lead. And then once Legacy determines, which path they're going to go with the assortment, what this theme is going to be. She reviews it and she's just like, yes, this is me. I can do this. I love this. And she's been awesome to work with. So.
And then now back to the retailer and the opportunity. Being here and seeing the product and touching and feeling means a lot. But by being able to put this type of brand in their store, what's the opportunity that they have as a retailer to leverage this in what they're doing?
So a lot of the smaller accounts who haven't had the opportunity, they're also in parts of the network throughout the country that's not heavily penetrated by some of the larger, box retailers. So then they always have their loyal customer base, which now gives those loyal customer base that trust those smaller mom and pop locations for directions and trust their operations. It now gains additional exposure that we didn't have, because there's always going to be those pockets of consumers that have their loyalty to the local name versus the larger name.
For sure.
And so we're now in a position where we'll have a deeper penetration, a deeper presence in the marketplace with regards to her product exposure.
And for the retailer too, the opportunity or ability to put her name on their floor, I think I have to imagine that is a benefit in and of itself that they will soon realize.
Exactly. They can cater, some advertisement around that, and all of that name recognition is very important. And so that will help that smaller retailer who's looking to gain that extra % of foot traffic now that they have access to a different, yet another great line of furniture. So I know there's a big program going on over there, but I think we have a class that's a fireside chat that's going on. That is correct.
She'll be doing some handshaking with some of our members.
Exactly.
And a lot to look forward to over there. that's exciting. Looking past the show, what excites you about the future of working close with our members and with this line and sort of the direction it could head?
So after each show, we do gain some traction with, a handful of very important members. Mm-hmm. And then, truly this industry, furniture as a whole, is a relationship-driven industry. Mm-hmm. And so once you build that strong, no matter what happened in the past, once you build that strong relationship with a handful of members, that spreads within the membership organization. They all talk.
Yeah.
So, someone may have had one bad experience, and that one person who had the best experience here recently will then share, listen, Legacy is new.
Yeah.
It's now, they're under new leadership. Their operation is running a lot different. Give them another try. Mm-hmm. And so all that does is continue to build momentum between the members and Legacy.
That's awesome. Well, I look forward to getting over there, seeing what's going on, and getting my hands on the line and sitting on some of this furniture and see what's going on. So we appreciate you taking the time and coming over and chatting with us and sharing more and seeing all of the buzz as people move over to that corner of our show floor.
We can't wait.
So.
We can't wait.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. And thanks again to Doc for taking the time and coming over ahead of the Trisha appearance and everything that was going on. They had a wildly busy show, so to get just a few minutes of her time to talk about the brand and how they're supporting our members was much appreciated. So thanks to her. And as always, appreciate you listening to the Independent Thinking Podcast, and we'll catch you next time.